Welcome, Tammy, Jessie. Well, let's see. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and start putting the gesso on right now. If anyone shows up and passes through, great. If I miss a comment or a question, please just DM me. Prayers going out for my sis. Sherry is sick. So if you're a praying folk, send healing that way. Thank you. So I'll just put some gesso down, dampen my brush, and just put it in the inside. This gesso, in case you don't know, gesso helps give the paint teeth. That's how my mama explained it one time. It's true. So that's cool. Since Unicorn SPiT doesn't have any teeth, and what I'm talking about is it doesn't have a glue, a polymer. So in case you don't know that, it's a stain. So it can go into your acrylics or alcohol inks or whatever medium you use. I don't know about oils. I painted with oils, but I haven't tried the SPiT in oil, and I don't think I would. But it can go in other mediums, or it can just be used like paint, and you just paint with it like you would anything else. And it's water soluble, so it's reactivated with water. So I can leave a piece that I'm painting with the Unicorn SPiT and come back an hour later and it'll be dry and the brush is dry and I can just dampen it and keep going. And I'm telling you, that alone is worth it to me, because I liked oils for the reason I could come back to it later. In acrylics, you know, it's hard to get that depth. Well, you can get the depth, I think, with the Unicorn SPiT, because you can continue to layer it. If you found something that you just absolutely love and you don't want to mess with it anymore, but you do want to add something else in front of it, then just spritz it once it's dry with a polyurethane, and just real quick, doesn't have to be heavy. Let it dry and then just keep painting, and you can just keep layering and blending like that. It is really a fun product. So I've been using it for a very long time. Just recently became an affiliate. Badass wifey. Aw, you too. You have the best day ever. Thank you. Anyway, so I just became an affiliate, and so my problem is I tell anybody, if you're gonna order it, just order it. It doesn't have to be from my link or anything like that. Just get some wherever you are. If it's Michael's Amazon or my link or MichelleNicoles.com, she is the one that created it. She's the girl boss, people. And she has Artistic Vivations line as well, and it's like beyond the sparkle thing. And I got a sneak preview. I guess I wasn't supposed to see it because I'm not a paid subscriber yet for her, but she was sweet, and I got to see it anyway. And it was like this fabulous sparkle teal, but not like the Zia teal. This is my favorite color. Can you see it? Can you tell? Actually, that's alcohol inks. And that is the Unicorn SPiT Ghosted, just so you know. But anyway, it's a deep teal. It's color shifting. But better than that, she has one that she's creating right now that is like a Mars black. You sit there. So these are just from Magic Fly and they're acrylics, but this is a Mars black. See the brown copper in there? Yeah, that is what she just created in the Unicorn SPiT, something like that. However, the coolest thing about it is when you put the Unicorn SPiT that has that copper in it, if you wanted to leave like the outside coppery, but you want to take that middle part of the copper out but leave the brown and black, you just start rubbing it and that copper will come off, and so the inside is a flat basically, and the outside has that mist of copper. I'm telling you, as I say, the Unicorn SPiT will paint for you. So I hope to see that out on the shelves soon, because I do want to give it a go. Gypsy! Gypsy, you followed me. Thank you so much. I will follow you back. So I'm, you know, just one of those old people that just got on TikTok and thought, sure, why not? I can do this at 62. But I'll tell you, the thing is, it's really been a fun adventure, especially doing the lives, even though every time I'm getting ready to do a live, I'm like, yeah, I feel sick to my stomach. I don't think I'm going to do it. But I have to force myself. I do, because it's good for me. There's a lot of things I won't force myself to do. I'm just going to add some white. So, anyway, so I'm putting white right on top of my gesso. Just all over the place. And basically what I want to do is a seascape, but I want to do it in a summer's color, which is what I'm thinking are these vibrant yellows and golds and maybe some pinks and stuff like that. So I'm getting away from the blue water again. I'm on a thing with that. So I'm thinking gold water would be beautiful. I have one that has some gold in it for the waves, and I just absolutely love it. It's actually a treasure box. So I love doing those. And that's going to be what we do next, y'all. If you're not into the nightlight, hang in there. We got more stuff coming. But I really do want to build a community of artists and people that still don't want to call themselves artists. Because I just got through that stage, and I'm telling you, it was such a breakthrough. It sounds silly if you're not an artist, or if you know, it might sound silly. I'm going to go ahead and do white unicorn spit on the outside of this. But it's one of those things, I guess maybe even musicians might have to go through that too. This, at one point, where do you start calling yourself a musician or an artist? You know, I mean, do you have something in your head that says, well, when I make this mark, then I can say I'm an artist? Or is it like me? I struggle with it because I'm self-taught. You know, my mama taught me a lot in oils and all that. But because I was self-taught, I kind of put limitations on myself, like, well, I'm not a real artist. Of course, and then I had a granddaughter, bless her sweet little heart, and she said, because I was trying to paint her a portrait, I still haven't finished it. I've started it like 500 times. But anyway, she said, if you were a real artist, you would have had that done by now. And she was right at the time, because I was really struggling. Oh gosh, I love kids because they're so brutally honest. Oh God. But, you know, at some point I decided, you know what, I am an artist. You know why? Because I create art. I'm a creator. And I believe we're all creators. We were put here to create. That's what we do, you know? And the ones that aren't so sure, I think it's because they haven't found their thing that really they fell in love with to create. So I would say just keep looking for different mediums, like maybe clays or, you know, glass, stained glass, or wire work if you're into jewelry, or, you know, like those sun window blings is what I call them, when you put glass and sea glass and rocks. And, you know, there's always something you can create that when you walk by, it just makes you happy, you know? And then you get to give it or sell it to people, and they get to walk by and it makes them happy. There's nothing wrong with that. So call yourself an artist. If you are creating art, you are an artist. And I'll tell you, once you say that and really mean it and understand that that's true, then there's no stopping you. I guarantee it. You can come back. Tell me it's true. Now this white unicorn spit, I'm putting straight on the outside of this cradle board without any gesso or anything. And so what it's going to do is it's going to just stain that wood in a softer white. And the wood right now is quite yellowy. So that's a good thing. it won't stay like this. I can almost guarantee it, because I do a lot of changing in my painting. I like to just go with the flow of it, which is another reason I love the Unicorn SPiT, y'all. It's like alcohol inks, but you can control it if you need to. So that's a cool thing. Dalton, Sherry Carr. Good grief, girl. I hope you're at the hospital. That's all I gotta say. And thank you. You got a #1 gifter badge, so I don't know what happened, but thank you very much. Aw, Dalton. How does it feel being an incredible human, adding so much beauty to this world? Ah, I could ask you the same thing. That was a beautiful comment. Thank you. Okay, so there's our white. So that's it. That's very simple. We've got a little gesso in the bottom, a little bit of white. So I'm gonna go ahead and add colors. I like to keep my most innard part fairly light, so I'll add my colors around the outside first and work towards that. But I'm gonna put white in there just to remind me. Yes, I'm serious. Yes, I am. Let's see, up there, I've got some red and some orange. I've got my sunset seascape up there I'm looking at, in case you guys are wondering. So I'm just gonna put some red right at the top. I think I'll keep it inside the little box for now, and I might go ahead and come up much at all. And that's the thing, if you look at it, like I bought mine from Amazon, and if you look at it online, it might seem expensive, but once you start using it and you realize how far they go, they are very saturated, extremely saturated. You can just dilute the fire out of them. So, and still get a great color. So it's not what it looks like, I'm just saying. And you know, if you know me, some say I'm cheap. But I am. Okay, I've got a little bit of white on this brush, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say that's okay, and just dip it into my red Unicorn SPiT. And I'm just gonna run it along the top in some stripes. I really don't think it's gonna end up red, but I don't know, so. Okay, and then I think I'll put some yellow in. And I'm just throwing colors in, guys. I have no real plan except I want it more, you know, summer. And dip my white and just start blending it back and forth and see what happens. Well, those are real vibrant colors. A little too vibrant for my taste right now, but that's all right. I'll just go with it for a little while. We can always mute them down later. Holy moly. Joy. Look at that. This must be like a wake-up nightlight. So, see what I'm saying? I mean, you don't need much at all. I'm gonna throw some more white in the middle and just start going from the innards out. Yeah, that's best. Just push it up into that. Okay, I'm coming up over the edge. I can't stand it. Which is part of the reason I love working in the cradle boxes, is because it's like working in treasure boxes. I mean, cradle boards. It's just so fun to work all the way around something instead of just on a flat surface, you know? Alright, so I'm going over the middle part. Made it a little bit darker. That's alright though. So the first thing I'm doing is just kind of getting an overall color to my painting, basically, because I want an emotion. And the emotion I get from orange and yellows and reds and white is summer. Thank God for summer. So that's a happy color for me. So whatever you want to do, if you want it to be dark and deep or whatever, that's fine. Go with whatever emotions and colors that brings into your mind, and you'll begin to, it'll easily take you down the path, is what I'm trying to say. You won't get that creative block that happens a lot going, well, what now? Because you've already got your feeling into it. You know it's going to be happy and light or dark and mysterious. So that's why I like starting with color. And you know, you can change. It doesn't have to stick with the thing you started with. So, you know, you're not locked in. And with the Unicorn SPiT being so, you know, water soluble or whatever, I can just dampen this brush and start kind of pulling out a lot of the color. Even though it has stained, you know, it still will pull up. And I really like that look. I love the vignette look. Check that out. I mean, it's so pretty already. Ish. It's pretty bright. I got to tame that puppy down. All right, so let's put some black in. I love their black. Talk about potent. I'm just going to do it down here, just to see what happens. Dip my brush in and just kind of... Did you know that the human eye is drawn to contrast? I did not know that. I just learned that. Which makes sense, really, when you think about it. Well, it's Halloween. Yeah. Let's see what happens when I put some white and some purple. This is going to be sand, rocks, whatever. So I'm just playing in colors. And then I'm just going to push them down in here too. I always say this is one of the only, actually, mediums that will paint for you. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to go ahead and do the sides on this. I usually put gloves on when I'm working with the Unicorn SPiT. It's not, you know, it's non-toxic, so it's not that. It's just that it does stain. And, you know, nails, you can get it off. You can scrub it off. You can use magic erasers and such. Okay, I've got a very gray looking sand. This takes a while to block in colors. So, you know, you guys can go get a cup of coffee, do a little shopping, come back. I might be towards the sky. But that's the beauty of just playing in paint, you know, is the goal is to have a good time. The goal for me is to see what happens when I mix certain colors, or to figure out a problem when I come across one that I think, oh, this is it, this is the end of it. I love that about art. It's a puzzle. And when you start mixing mediums, it becomes mad science. So it's just fun. I know, it looks pretty bold, but that's all right. Yeah, this is where I just stop talking and zone out. I'm trying a new music. I'm hoping it's not a copyright trap. It's not like my other one that I like so much, though. So that was sad. Okay, now I like what's happening here on the edges. A little bit. And I'll show you in just a sec. I do want a lighthouse in here somewhere. And it could be painted or it could be built with epoxy sculpt. I don't know. Ooh, I like that muddy mess that I just made. It looks a little foggy, even in the summer. That's interesting. I like that. I think it's going to turn a little too green for my taste. So if it's happening to you like that, I don't know if you guys are painting or whatever, and you run across something that you don't like, you like everything else, but you don't like that, you can always just let it dry, then spritz it with a polyurethane spray, and then go ahead and address those things that you don't like. And you can do that over and over again until you're satisfied. So, or if you don't like it and you don't care to just get in there and mess with it, you can do that. Just keep working with it till you do like it. Don't quit on something until you're satisfied. I have several pieces. I gotta tell you, I have a hideous treasure box over here that I keep it. It's hideous. And it's to remind me that, you know, there's always going to be the really cool things that happen and the really hideous things happen. That's just art, in my opinion. That's just the creative process. Some hit and some miss. Hopefully, I'll hit more than I miss as I get more into it, but I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm thinking, I got about, you know, a few years left to really make that. But it doesn't matter because I'm enjoying the process. So that's what's important. But every once in a while you have to just remind yourself of that. Do you not? I do. I do all the time. Okay, I'm gonna go with a lighthouse somewhere. Let me see. Still looking for land. Let me put some more land in. I'm seeing more of a field tractor theme going. So I need a horizon line. Maybe that'll help. Now, horizon lines, they are a little tough inside of the cradle boards. Kind of like working inside of the treasure box lids. So I don't know. I think one of these brushes might be nice. But I'm just doing the horizon line so I can kind of get an idea of where I want everything. And I know that the horizon line should not be, you know, square, flat in the middle of a piece. Just so you know. Like you can come up a third of the way is nice. Third of the way from the top. If you want a lot more beach or something, you can do that. You can do anything you want, actually. You know that. Man, I'm seeing beach more than anything. Gosh, I'm a mess. So I like the idea of beach more than anything, so I'm gonna go with that for a second. And so what made me start seeing that was a glob of white, like it was seafoam, you know? So I'm just gonna go ahead with that thought and do more seafoam. See if it'll keep showing me where to go with this. Sometimes they leave you hanging. They bring you to a certain point and it's like, yeah, you're on your own. A little bit of black on my brush because I want to go right under that. So that'll be the wet sand. Sorry, did I put that right in front of you guys? Ooh, that looks like a wave though. Oh, it could be a wave. It made it look like a wave was the fact that the line was so dark, so thick. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that wave that I'm beginning to see a little bit. And there may be another wave behind it, I don't know. So, but if there is something behind it, I really need to paint that now, because I don't want to paint my foreground and then try and get in behind it. You know what I'm saying? So I also want to keep expanding on that wave idea. So I'm going to put another big blob right over here, just to see how far up I want to go with my water line. Don't be afraid to mess up your painting. If you're just starting out, that's always the thing, you know, you don't want to just keep going until it's gone, and I do that a lot. However, because I do that a lot, I have found some very cool things. So I guess it depends on your piece and where you're at in your mental state at that time, seriously. Because sometimes you just feel like playing and it doesn't matter if you mess up and lose it. And sometimes you've worked really hard at it and it's not worth it. So each piece I kind of evaluate as I go, you know, and that's helped a lot, just knowing I'm like that, you know, and just being able to rest in that. It's okay. You figure out what works for you, and that's what you do. And that's where your joy comes from, is the freedom. You can do anything you want, paint any way you want, use any tool you want, and it's not wrong because it's your style. I love it. And you're going to bring things out into the world that nobody else can if you just let yourself go and do that. I promise you. Only, you know, there's only one of you. Even if there's twins, it's not the same. Okay, I got a lot of white going up there, so I'm going to keep going with this black wave thing. I kind of liked the weirdness of it. And I'm just going to do what I did on that first part. I'm going to push some black up into it and make a gully, a shadow. I'm still working from the foreground to the back, which is so bizarre. Don't follow me like that. I don't care. I'll just do it, you know, because weird things happen, fun things. Just go for it. Okay, so now that is the wave, and the one in the front is calming down and becoming the little water foam that comes up on the beach. So that's cool. That just happened. Maybe a little tiny wave. Let's make that happen. I'm just making that happen by trying to bring a little bit lighter color up closer to that last little bit of water that I added. So, I mean, it's a start. It's a messy start, but it's a start. Oh, Shannon, welcome, my lovely daughter. Please show us the hideous one, Sherry says. You're so funny. Okay. Shannon, how you doing, honey? This is what happens when you try to cheat in your art and you try to do something instead of going back. Look at the hinges. Gleason TD, welcome. Thanks for the like. So that's what happens when you don't plan, people. Look, I mean, I didn't even finish the box. So, but you know what? I keep it. I keep it because it's humbling. Because you owe me. You made me show my ugly stuff. Okay, I want some gold. I don't know if I want this gold gosling. I might just go for some acrylic, but I'm not ready for acrylic if I'm going to use acrylic. So let me just stop talking and put some gold gosling on. Nope, just not happening. Not happening. Back to the black. I'm just going to push it around. I'm just going to wipe it all out. Don't panic. This is common. I want to see if I can get kind of a smear going. In a circle. You know I like circles, just look behind me. And I think this is what is so cool about this process is you just kind of grow with your piece. You know, it's like, okay, I'm starting out, it's going to be this, this, and this. And then it doesn't happen. So you change and it changes and you go a different direction. And pretty soon you find something that you both like. The inner child and your brain. And that's where I land. That's my process. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for checking my page after the display of that treasure box. I appreciate you a lot. But you know, the truth is, I have a mermaid over there. It's just my nemesis. It's huge. She has no face. She's a mess. But the rest of the painting, I love. And so I'm not throwing her away, but I'm just not ready to face her yet. So, you know, but I believe that it's going to be one of the best paintings I've done so far. That's in my head, and it's not a braggy thing because I'm not even close to being done. It's a mess still. But I believe it because I am not willing to throw it away. And I know that if you keep working, it will turn out. I gave up on that treasure box because it wasn't worth it. In my head, in my heart, I was over it. But I'm keeping it just for my own sake, just to get a good laugh every once in a while. This could be a very stormy night now. But it's okay, I still have my sunshine yellow. God, what a mess. All right, gosh, this is where we're at. Let's keep going. Back to the middle. Yep. That's so cool. Thanks for the likes, you guys. I so appreciate that. It really helps. Okay, I've just got some black and brown on my square rectangle brush. And I'm just putting some land in. I can't go anywhere without land, so putting that in. And then I'm going to put some land way back out here as well, because I want to get my background in a little bit more. I don't know how far that land's going to go. But I can see it on it, so I guess that's where the lighthouse is going to go. So it looks kind of like a little lagoon so far, and it's quite heavily balanced because my land is all on one side, so probably should put something over here. But you know, it could be a bird or another cliff or something on this side as well. So let's put a rock, a big one. And I just want to block that stuff in right now just to get started on something. Goodness. Cool. It's already pretty. I'm gonna brighten that really a lot. Unicorn SPiT, when you start just finding colors in there, they start popping up, making weird shadows and stuff. Like I say, it basically paints for you. I'm not exaggerating, you all. All you gotta do is start messing with it with your brush. Okay, so that's kind of a cool thing. It's happening slowly. And if you want to set something a little bit farther back, just put something in front of it, like a water line or whatever. And if you don't, if you want it to come up, then just close it up and make it in the foreground by doing that. So I kind of set that one back though a little bit. So I'll go ahead and put some white right in front of it. And I'm kind of hoping, ooh, this is so lake looking, you guys, all of a sudden. How cool. Yeah, I'm hoping it kind of looks like water, and I don't think that will be a problem. And the question is, do I come out here with the water onto the side? I don't know, but I'm going to right now. I can always go back and cover it later. So let me add a few more little ripples that you can get the idea that this is actually water out here. Just by adding some Unicorn SPiT on a rectangle brush and just kind of slicing it through the gesso. Really fun, you guys, so fun. That one's awful big back there. It must be a wave or something. I do like this misty look that I end up with somehow. That's the thing, when you paint like I do, it's kind of hard to know how something turned out because it changes so much. So I guess that would be kind of a downside, you know, because I move around so much and change. I'm not sure what it was that fixed it. But it's okay, because the next time I get to play again and find out. As long as you think of it as play, it becomes so much more fun. I mean, in basic training in the Army, that was my, I just felt like I was playing Army with my brothers again. It was fun. Okay, so far this is what we have. No lighthouse. Or down on the flat part. What do you think, guys? Up on the tall part of there, or down on the low? But that's going to be really, yeah, let me just put it up. I'll just put it up on the high part. But I'll make it small. Get an idea. Get some white. I'm going to use a different brush. You guys, if you haven't seen these before. They are actually like nail design brushes, and Amazon sells them for cheap in a set of 4. And they are like, this one's shot, but look how thin. I mean, can you even see that? It's amazing. So they are amazing. There's the long detail ones and then the shorter ones. But if you're doing little tiny treasure boxes and detail work, well, look how tiny. It's very cool. So I'm just going to use one of those and start building up my lighthouse a little bit more. We start really small. This is a tip for you guys. If you're new, start really small, because if you're like me, stuff starts growing. That's what happened to my mermaid. Her head just kept getting bigger, and I was like, so if you are doing a small treasure box or a small painting, start really skinny lighthouse, and that way you can mess up and not go like, okay, now I've got this, you know, prison guard tower. That's what I usually end up with. Oh, this is cute. I think it has a little house attached to it. Let me show you why I think so. Okay. Do you see a little house? I mean, there's a square little something. And that's going to be a little house attached to it. Expand that. So yeah, I guess we're closer to this little lighthouse than I thought to start with. It's cool. And just keep playing, y'all. If it messes up, cover it up, start over if you have to, or just keep working with it, because in truth, as long as you keep working with it, you still have a possibility of it becoming something like your favorite. And I kid you not, it's happened where I was devastated. I lost a really cool painting, and then something really weird happened, and I mean, I never expected it to be so cool looking. I'd never expected it. So you just don't know. Just keep going on your piece. It could be really weird. It may not be what you had intended, but it still could be very cool. And that's the fun part. That's why we paint. The experience. Yep. Just add it. It's kind of neat to do a seascape in yellows and oranges, because so many are greens and blues and such. So it's kind of fun to get out of the normal thing that I do. Okay, the house just got wiped out. He doesn't have a house anymore. That's how that happens. Just like that. But the water's looking fabulous. My hair, it's not working. I'm about done anyway, but let me just run some more water across here so I can at least show you something. We'll keep going on this on Thursday. I'm going to be trying to work on it tomorrow a little bit, hopefully get a little bit farther than I've got right now. I don't know what you guys are doing, but it would be great to hear from you as far as what your nightlight choice was, or whatever it was that you started creating today. And if you would, or are inclined to, I am Kate Charles Art on YouTube. And That's my little channel, and that's where I post all of my lives after I cut them to bits so that you can just see basically the process mostly. So that's where we're at right now with this Unicorn SPiT. It's a start.